Hi, guys. We're going to get started here in about 5 minutes. So just sit patiently while I let everybody else in. You can all say hi to each other. Oh, I like it. Wesley's definitely been to my master classes before. He's already adding in his name and his location, which I love. So, yeah, you guys can say where you're from, talk over the chat, but we'll get started in a few minutes. So just hold tight. Hey, Ryan, if you can just let me know that that's you that I've let in as a panelist, that would be great. Amazing, guys. Love that I see where everybody's from. Hello. You're so polite, all of you. I love it.
That's
So,
me, Marni.
in 3 minutes. It is you?
Well, yes, I was going to trick you, but yeah, that's me.
Yes. Okay. And now a co-host. Do you want to take yourself off camera in a little bit? Okay.
Yeah, I'll jump in a little bit and say hi to everybody. Well, hi, everybody, but I'll jump off camera here in just a minute.
Yeah, Ryan, you can go on camera if you want. Miranda, you can go on camera. I'm just typing in the background, just letting everybody else in, which is
Hey,
great. I'm not
hey,
seeing Jess on here yet, so we're waiting for her to join.
hey, welcome, everybody. This is Ryan, and super awesome to be here. Could you guys do me a quick favor? You guys are awesome. We got so many people here a few minutes early, but since we're early, let's do a tech check. If you can hear my voice, just give me a one in the chat box.
There we go.
And if you can see the amazing Miranda on the screen and hear her, give me another one in the chat box. Hi, Miranda.
Hey,
Perfect.
going everyone.
Miranda, is this going to be fun or what are we going to do?
Always. We always have fun. It's part of the best part about these things.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. For those of you that are logging in and getting set up, we're about 2 minutes early. Marni, should we just like start talking and like going crazy
Yeah.
since we're early?
Yeah, we can start talking. We can get going if you
I mean,
want.
this isn't part of the plan, but it'd be weird just to stare at you on camera,
No,
right?
you can stare at me. It's fine.
I don't know. You look really, really good in cream. That's
You
all
look
I gotta
amazing. You
say.
look
Thank you.
amazing,
Yeah, yeah,
Marni.
just stare at
Put
me
some
for two
lipstick
minutes.
on. There you go.
Yeah. All right. But we can actually stare at all the guys who have joined us because we have James from California, we have Bill from California, we have Matt from Arizona, we have Michael from what's KCMO? KCMO. This is the Canadian me where I'm like, what the hell is that? I don't know. Well, we'll figure it out.
Kansas City,
We have
Kansas
got
City.
people are pressing ones. People are like so trained from my master classes to press ones to say their location. It's fantastic. But hold tight for about another minute, guys. I just want to make sure everybody gets in and we start on time. We have Nelson from
There we go.
Clarksburg. Wait, did we say to press one? This is so interesting. I
I
love
did.
that you're doing
We
that.
did a tech
Kansas
check.
City, Missouri is KCMO. That's what he just said.
Oh, interesting. Okay, love it. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody. How do I get the camera? No, I'm just reading what everybody's writing. Everybody's doing ones, one plus one. Okay, so I've asked you to, I haven't asked you, but I'm going to ask you to put a one in the chat to say that this is going to be the most amazing 1 hour of your life. If you believe it'll be the most amazing 1 hour of your life, put a one in the chat. And you've already done it. So there you go. We're,
You
we're,
got you
we're
got some
creating a
believers here.
mindset for all of us. All
Woohoo.
right. So let's get started now because it is 4 o'clock on the dot. I like being on time. And Ryan is going to be in charge of this because he is the one hosting this event for Miranda and myself.
Yeah, in
Hey,
fact,
Ryan.
Miranda was unadvertised, and just to all of our surprise and all of our good fortune, Miranda gets to join us. So thank you for being here, Miranda. For those of you who don't know, Miranda is one of the OG, like one of our senior wing girls here at the
Mhm.
company. So we're super excited to have her here. Um, I'm honored to be here. I get a chance to do this webinar. I think it's called a webinar, but really this is going to be a chat, more of
It's a
an interview.
hangout.
Yeah, it's a hangout. We're going to do an interview. I'm going to pull the curtains back a little bit. I was going to say kimono, but I think curtains are better. I'm going to pull the curtains back a little bit. Look at the ones, Paul.
I know. Paul's in it.
Oh my gosh, I just saw like binary code over the chat box.
I
I was
know.
like,
Because they're
how did he,
awesome.
like, how did
I
he,
told you, these are amazing men. These are amazing
like,
men
I
who
can't,
come onto
how did he
these
do
little
that?
hangouts. So yeah,
I
don't
might,
be
I might have to
surprised.
turn my chat box off. That one, like, out the corner of my eye, like, wait, I'm super excited to be here, guys. I do want to pull the curtains back a little bit and just share with you why we're doing this and what's going to go on and what to expect. Um, Most of you, if not all of you, I'm sure have participated in at one time in your life a webinar or some kind of large group meeting. There are actually hundreds and hundreds of people in this meeting. So if you've been to one of these before, they're probably pretty structured. There's probably slideshows. There's probably a presentation and all that kind of stuff. Just going to warn you up front, that is not this. And when I say pull back the curtain, I will tell you that as the host, I wrote out questions that I've been dying to ask Marni and Miranda. Like I wrote questions that I wanted to ask. And I sent the questions to Marni and Miranda, and they're like, I'm not reading those. Like, I'm not reading those questions. They wanted this to be completely authentic, organic. This could be a really well-structured conversation, or this thing could get a little crazy. I'm not sure which it's going to be, but I'm anxious to see where it goes. And so, Marni and Miranda, thanks for being here. And more importantly, thanks for giving me the opportunity to be the one that gets to talk to you guys.
Yeah, of course, we're excited.
Yes.
There's a good population of people on this call right now, guys, that know everything about Wing Girl. They know everything about Marni, and they probably talked to Miranda themselves. There's also a big population of people that are here that may be here for the first time and haven't had a chance to interact with or participate or really get to understand what Wing Girl does. And so some of the things we want to accomplish over the next little bit, we get to ask these guys some really awesome questions because I want to make them uncomfortable a little bit, Marni and Miranda, and see what we can get. I want people to be able to take something away from this conversation that can help them immediately, right after the call tomorrow, those kind of things. We are going to talk about being alone on New Year's. That is probably the core bit of content we're going to talk about. We do want to talk about the inner circle. We want to talk about things that, the Wing Girl method does for people and how it works. And then I got a little, in my notes, I got a little special. We're going to offer a kind of a special offer at the very end of the call. You're going to have a chance to talk to a member of Marni's team once we're all done. But we're going to make you buy that. We're going to make you listen to this entire conversation before we post the link on how to book a call. So it's a free call. So we get to do that, right? I think that's fair. Okay. So at the end, we will post in the chat box a link for you to meet with a member of Marni's trained team. Mm-hmm. But in the meantime, we're just going to see where this goes. Marni, you've been coaching men for years and years and years. What do you see happening right now in the dating world? That why is it so hard for good men to find women or to connect? Like what's going on in the dating world right now that's making it difficult?
It's interesting. I get asked that a lot whenever I go onto a podcast. You're like, what's so different today about when you started doing this 21 years ago? And I have to be honest, from my perspective, nothing has changed. The same frustrations, the same confusions, the same complaints. I literally have the same emails that I've been responding to like over and over and over again with the same questions from men. I'm still responding to them the same way that I responded 21 years ago. Some of the mediums have changed. There's online dating, obviously. There's AI. There's other things that are in our sphere now that have altered and changed. But I really believe the advice and the guidance and the tips and tools and techniques that I'm dishing out, the Girl Method dishes out, the Inner Circle dishes out, Miranda dishes out, it is never going to change because what we do is we work on the core, on the basics, and then all of the mediums that people have to use and utilize for dating, for meeting women, even though those things are changing, once those things that are at the very core get really solid and concrete and confident, those other things don't really seem to matter. They don't have as much impact. Yes, you have to learn a new tool like online dating, but if you have that core down on how to communicate with women, on how to express yourself, on how to show that you're a man who can select, on showing that you're a man of value, like those other things are so easy. Online dating is super easy. Dating in person is so easy. Approaching a woman on the street is so easy. So from my perspective, nothing has really changed. Even though many things in the world have changed. And I don't see the things that we work on in the Wing Girl method changing for the next, I'll say million years, but I don't know if that's an accurate statement, but I don't see them changing.
Okay, I'm gonna put Miranda on the spot because I think she has a lot to say. But Miranda, Marni's like, hey, nothing's changed, and I don't think it's gonna change. But when we look at studies, I mean, 61% of single men say they're actively looking for a relationship, and they also say it's getting harder. I've seen a bunch of posts in the chat box. They're like, dating apps don't work. Dating apps don't work. I'm like, is are these dating apps and these systems that are supposed to make it easier, are they actually making it harder? Like, what's your opinion on that?
I think it's weird because I think people feel that their world is larger, but I view it as using like Eastern and Western medicine at the same time, right? You use one, you're going to go and drink some chamomile tea, and then you're going to go to the doctor, you know? So you use your online service, and then you go out. You got to get your ass out of the house, you know? Like Marnie said, actually, like for the next million years, I believe in it too. We're not reinventing the wheel. This is all primal. This goes back to like men and women wanting each other. And I think the major thing is that this is innate in very, very few people. In everybody else, it's learned and taught. And that's what we do. We teach you all the little tips and tricks and techniques that are going to take you to the next level.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna step in on behalf of all men on this call right now. This is, guys, I got your back here. Um, Miranda just said that something pretty fast, but I want to repeat it to see in the chat box if people resonate with this. The average man, I mean, I had a time in my life where I was single. I think the average man believes that the ability and the skill that it takes to connect and communicate with women should be part of our DNA.
Yeah.
It should be innate, as Miranda said. And we wake up one day and we go, wait a minute, am I broken? Am I missing something? Like, I thought this was supposed to be, I'm a man. Like, this should be my DNA. Like, when I heard you say that, Miranda, you're saying for some it is, but for the majority, this is a learned skill. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, 100%. I would say a very, very small fraction, right? It's like the talented athlete, right? Like it's that kind of percentage where it's innate in people. Everybody else, it's a skill. And it's a very easy learned skill when you're given the proper steps, you know? So it is it's doable, it's learnable, it's fun
It's
to
a
learn.
skill.
Yeah.
Just
And it's
like what
like you
Miranda
said,
said, it's a skill set. And I will say that everybody is born with the ability to attract. It's all the other shit that gets piled on top of us that stop this ability from shining through, which is why you need to learn things, which is why you need to practice, why sometimes you need to be coached. So I'm agreeing with everything we're saying from all different angles. And like what Ryan just said before, that there are studies that say it's 60% harder, but were there studies 40 years ago? I don't know, right? Were people being asked these questions? I don't know. But to be honest, I think the frustrations that people had 50 years ago are the same frustrations they have now. They don't know where to meet women. They don't know how to get the confidence to go up to a woman on the street. They don't know how to flirt. Nobody ever taught them, especially now, right? So like all of the things that we tackle every single day and we help men with every single day, they are the same things that were being asked of us for, especially me, 21 years ago. And if I had existed 50 years ago, I believe it would have been asked the same thing. They would have just asked it more politely 50 years ago. No.
I get it. I get it. I think I'm just gonna make eye contact in the camera real quick and just say, guys, if you feel like it's not working for you, you're not broken. You just might be unlearned. You might be unskilled.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
for
all
the
right.
guys who are talking about the online dating, it is challenging, right? It's challenging when you're going at it the wrong way. It is challenging when you're approaching it from an unconfident, unknowledgeable perspective. You have no boundaries in place. You don't believe in yourself as a man, and you don't see yourself as being a man of value in this marketplace. Same thing when you're out in public and you walk into a room. If you think that you're less than, you're not good enough, everybody's out of your league, you're going to have those same stumbling blocks when interacting with women at a social event or interacting with women online. It's just easier for women online to avoid you and not give you any attention. In person, they kind of have to be polite for a few seconds. So it feels a little bit different. But online, they can say, like, no, that was really creepy how you approached me. I'm never going to tell you that. I don't have to tell you that. And you won't know that. I'm just not going to respond to you. And I'm probably going to block you in some way. So, yeah, different mediums. But as I was saying before, the things that you need to be successful today with women are the same things that you needed to be successful 50 years ago. And they can be applied to every new medium that you come in contact with once you get them nailed down.
Awesome. I love that. So I'm going to keep building on this idea that it might just be a skill you haven't learned yet or haven't developed yet, or maybe there's some kind of block. I've always heard you say that the Wing Girl method is built kind of like on one simple idea, and that men deserve honest feedback from real women.
Yeah.
Let's jump into some of the stuff that we teach in the company. Like when somebody participates in your programs, like what kind of things are they going to experience that maybe they wouldn't experience somewhere else?
I mean, they're going to experience 8 amazing women telling them exactly what they're doing wrong with like a tiny filter on so that you don't feel really awful about yourself. No, I'm just joking, not about the filter, but you have direct instant female feedback. I have not seen that anywhere else. There's so many programs where, let's say you have to do it on your own program, right? You read a book, you listen to a program, you go out and you try to apply something and then it doesn't work. And then you don't know why it doesn't work. Right? You're just like, okay, I'm not going to do that again. Or I'm going to try again, but I'm going to try the same way because the program said to do it. Right? And you keep having the same response and reaction from the people that you're interacting with. And you're like, I don't know what's working. Why it's not working. So you stop doing the program. With our program, with our system that we have, the inner circle, you get to practice with real women, have interactions with real women, flirt with real women, and get instant feedback from a woman where she tells you what is going inside of her mind. I have handpicked every single one of my wing girls so that they're not like really sweet women who don't want to hurt your feelings and don't help you at all. They're just like me. And I'm sure most of the guys on here have seen my YouTube videos, have read my newsletters, even bought some of my programs. You know that I don't have that barrier. I think it's a gift to give you access to my mind and everybody else's and every other woman's mind so that you know what's going on. So the playing field becomes fair and you can actually play. So these women that are my wing girls who work with me, they are trained to be kind and caring, obviously, but to also give you real feedback on what you're doing, how it's making them feel, and then tell you how you can tweak it so that it will come across differently and actually create attraction in the women that you're interacting with. So that's the biggest thing. And one thing I did want to touch on before that you talked about, I forget what you were even saying, but it was the transition to this conversation. But just to let anybody on this call know, everything that is in my programs, I have done. I have been where all of these men are. I'm not a lesbian, right? But I have great difficulties interacting with women, connecting with women, attracting women. I was intimidated by them. I thought they were better than me. And I'm pretty cute, right? And I still had all of these insecurities around women. And then I realized I had all of these insecurities around people. I didn't feel good enough. I didn't feel like the things that I had to say were valuable. I was only really confident around people that I was comfortable with. And I didn't want to be that way anymore. So I have been in the position where many of these guys are at, feeling less than uncomfortable, craving the attention that I think I'm supposed to have in my head. And much of what is in every single one of my programs and any word that I spit out of my mouth is backed by the fact that I've been there and I've gone through all of the steps that I put them through as well, so that I know that it works.
I love that, Miranda. I have it on good authority that you have no filter. Um, I won't say any names, but you've been around the wing girl method probably the longest. I think you were the original, and if not the most experienced wing girl in the team. So I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Um, if I'm a man sitting here and I'm looking at, by the way, two stunning women on the camera here, like just matter of fact, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm I'm going to be a little bit intimidated. Like I'm going to go into a Zoom room or I'm going to go in and I get to talk to Miranda and I get to like interact with her. I mean, Miranda, you're stunning. But you've been doing it with thousands of men. How do you break that down and break down those like kind of insecurities in men and really connect with them in a way that you can help them grow through and learn through some of the stuff?
I think it's exactly what Marni said. I think all of our team actually has been there. We've all been where these guys are. As a matter of fact, I was on a group call last night and I was talking to the guys. Some of them might even be here. And I was telling them, right, like my teen years were super awkward. I grew 6 inches the summer before 7th grade. I weighed like 90 pounds. Everyone called me olive oil and I was gangly. I was like a bird. I tripped over my own 2 feet. The other thing is, even now in real life, right? We flub up our words, we fuck up shit, and it's fine. It's just owning and accepting and calling out the elephant in the room, right? It's just in how you say it. If you say, I'm so nervous right now. You're so gorgeous. I don't even know what I'm saying. Right. It's very different than saying, I'm so nervous right now. I don't even know what I'm saying. It's just changing different little tweaks, like Marni said, about yourself. So it makes it more palatable and more sexy and more, acceptable to women.
Yeah. And I think what's also really unique about what it is that we do, especially in the Inner Circle program, and actually the reason that I created this program, I'll give you backstory on it, but about 6 years ago, I had said, oh, I want to create a VR experience where men get to practice in a safe setting. They get to interact with women. They get all this practice under their belt because, studies have proven that practice is what leads to confidence, right? Just getting the reps in is what helps grow confidence because you have all this experience under your belt, and your brain literally shifts and changes to say, these things are safe now. We can do these things. We've had practice and we can move forward and grow, right? And so I went to meet the head of VR at USC. I forget what the program was called anyway, but it was like $50 million basically to make a VR program, like a 10-minute VR program. So I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not going to do that. But I was like, how else can I simulate that same experience as a VR game so that men get that same safe place to practice so that they can feel armed and ready, or at least have some practice under their belt before they go out there to the real world. So that's really what our Inner Circle program does, is it helps them get the reps in so that, once you get the reps in, a few of them, then you're ready to go outside. But if you've never had any of those reps in, you're like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. And you never actually fully motivate yourself to do it. So that's what the key difference is in our program. But like anybody that gets onto any of our calls, they're having a real life experience where they are feeling that intimidation. They are feeling that same discomfort that they would feel with a woman that they're attracted to outside in the wild. But then we're giving them tips and tools on how to calm that anxiety, alleviate that pressure for themselves, and also know what to say and how to say things so that women actually respond to them with attraction.
I think another important thing to mention is that in our Inner Circle program and the group of wing girls that Marni has put together, all of us are very bold, we're very strong, we're very real, we're very, super amazing with real-time feedback, but we are all vastly different from each other. And it is super indicative of the type of women that you'll meet in the real world, right? You can have 10 beautiful women lined up in front of you and you think they're all hot and gorgeous. Are you going to resonate with all of them? No, and so you get these little different feedbacks, right? Like there's one of our wing girls that I say, you could always go to her if you need a Band-Aid, like she's all very caring and nurturing and things like that. And then it goes down the line with the rest of us with our different personalities. But I mean, you guys are getting every type of woman that you could ever come across in the real world.
Yeah. And so somebody just wrote in the chat, what did they just write? They try to not let their anxiety get the best of them. So one of the tools that we teach at the very base level is it's not about like you just try to eliminate your anxiety. What we want to do is replace that with another feeling, right? So that you're not trying to suppress your anxiety. You're trying to grow your confidence. You're trying to grow your comfort level. We do that with different mindset techniques, reframing techniques. So for example, like I really strongly believe that the way that you talk about yourself, to yourself, and to other people really dictates how people take you in, right? So a huge thing that we focus on in the beginning of any one of our programs is about reframing how you look at yourself and how you speak about yourself to others. So like you walk around all day saying things to yourself on a subconscious level, and you walk around all day saying things out loud to other people on a very conscious level. And we make sure that those things that you're saying to yourself in your head and outside to the rest of the world are motivating and pushing you forward. So for example, I can walk around all day long thinking like, oh, I'm not good enough. That's my gremlin, right? My gremlin is I am not good enough and nobody's going to like me. It's always going to be there, but I'm getting it to be quieter and quieter because I have different tools that help me see things differently, right? But if I'm walking around with that thought and I talk to people and my responses to them are, oh, yeah, I'm great, but I'm not that good, or whatever it is that I'm putting out there with my words verbally, right? That I'm expressing the same thoughts that I'm having in my head. I'm saying it in some way out loud to people. it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm never going to be good enough for people because I'm literally telling that person that's across from me, this woman or this man who I'm trying to attract, whoever it is, I'm telling them I'm not good enough, so you should treat me that way. And then I'm saying it to myself. So again, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But if I express myself to women or to people in a way that has more faith in myself, pumps myself up. I'm trying to think of a question that somebody could ask, like, "Oh, how's work going today?" And I could go into this whole long, "Oh, well, I didn't do this or I didn't do that." That's a way of me expressing myself to a person so that they don't see me as somebody of value. But reframing that lets me say, "Oh, I had an amazing day. I had some really hard challenges that I was able to overcome because of the things that I've learned in the past. And I feel really good about myself," right? That has a woman, a person seeing me differently, me speaking about myself differently so that I motivate myself to continue seeing myself that way. I'm getting like a little bit heady right now, but like that's really what we do in the beginning stages is we catch people in their negative talk. We put a mirror up to them to show them how they're expressing themselves to women around them, because most of the guys that we work with don't know that they're actually the ones who are rejecting themselves before women even have the chance to. They make sure that she has no choice but to reject them because of the way that he's putting himself out there.
Deep, some good stuff. We've got a big season coming up right in front of us. We are
Yes,
right around
holiday season.
we're right around the corner from holidays. We've got Thanksgivings, we've got Christmases, we've got Hanukkahs, we've got all sorts of things. But the real big one that really flips people from year to year is New Year's Eve. A lot of tradition, a lot of different types of traditions, and I think most of those traditions revolve around relationships. But let's talk about what we came here to talk about. Let's talk about
Yeah.
we've got about, I haven't done the math, but maybe 45 or 50 days before New Year's. It's coming fast. Okay. Maybe less, maybe 45 days. Um, if there's somebody on the call right now, that's why they're here. If somebody on the call right now is thinking, I want to do something. I mean, I can't go through the entire Inner Circle program tonight,
Yeah.
but can they get a cheat code? Is there something that we could learn or take from that we could implement almost immediately to do a little bit better in our communication and our ability to connect so that we have a higher probability of not sitting New Year's Eve by ourselves filling out a calendar for 2026?
Yeah. Get off your ass. That's the first thing that you can do. And
Wait. Tell me more because it sounds great. Tell me more.
get off your ass and get out of the house. Stop doing the same thing every single day. Stop looking for women online and ending up with bots or what do they call it again? Catfishes, and like getting lost in a really easy conversation with a super hot woman who's going to eventually ask you for money and take that money from you. Like, get off your ass, get outside. There is so much going on right now outside of your house because it is holiday time. There are holiday parties and holiday events. There's meetups that are going on. There's singles mixers that are going on. What's that singles mixer that we tell people to go to?
Oh, City Swoon.
What is it called? City Swoon.
City Swoon. Yeah.
City Swoon. Okay. There's like in like most major cities, there's that event. There's also, oh my God, what's the one that Mark Myers goes to that he loves? That's like the dinner party with strangers.
Oh, Time Left.
Time Left. There's like all of these things that exist outside, right, of your house. I would say the biggest thing that you can do for right now for yourself, that doesn't include us needing to assist you, is like get off your ass, get activated in activating your social life. Like that is going to be the biggest game changer for you. Because I was talking about before getting those reps in. You need to have reps in. You have to go out and take some of the advice that you've heard me say on any of my videos and put it into practice. But you can't put into practice with like your grandmother who you see once a week. You can't put it into practice with your coworkers because that's inappropriate. It's probably going to get you fired. You can't like, if you're not able to get practice under your belt in your day to day, like you need to get out there and go interact with other people. It's going to boost your confidence. It's going to boost your endorphin levels. Being social just makes you happier, right? And then you're going to be able to tell other people about all the other things that you've been participating in. You are activating yourself by getting off your ass and getting outside and becoming a part of a community. Like, if you are feeling lonely right now, you are lonely because you're doing the same thing every single day. You're going to work, you're coming home, you're going to sleep, you're going to work. You have to switch up your routine, put yourself out there, boost your confidence by doing something that's slightly uncomfortable. And when you're there at each of these events, Try something new. Share a little bit more about yourself. Listen. Try ruffling feathers a little bit, like some of my videos talk about for creating sexual tension. Try one of the flirting tactics that I've taught about. Like these are the things that you can do right now on your own without any assistance from us. And that will have a huge impact on the next 45 to 50 days of your life. It's not going to guarantee that you get a girlfriend, but it's going to guarantee that you get out there, you grow some confidence, you have some fun, and you meet some women.
Awesome.
A lot of the times too, I get from my clients that they're like, well, I go out and I meet people and they're married or they're this or they're that. What you guys don't understand is that married women can be your biggest allies, right? Because if you meet them and they find out that you're a good guy, they're going to be like, you know what? My girlfriend Jennifer, she's been dating all these really shitty guys, but you know who's not a shitty guy? Ryan. And it's just like, so, right? We want to put you together like salt and pepper shakers. That's like what we do. That's our thing. Also, you guys, I don't know if any of you have heard about this, but this is cuffing season. So cuffing season, those of you who don't know, right? It's like akin to like being handcuffed together. But what it is that people tend to get more serious minded when it comes to relationships during these holiday seasons, right? We don't want to, like Marni said, we don't want to go to these holiday parties by ourselves. And we don't want to, be sitting alone on New Year's. We want to be able to kiss somebody at midnight on New Year's, right? Like there's absolutely nothing better than that. So again, get off your asses because, Ed McMahon, God rest his soul, is not going to show up at your fucking door with $1 million and a supermodel on the inside and the out. I say that to my guys. They're like, I don't need a supermodel on the outside. I'm like, oh, she's a supermodel on the inside too. Trust me.
Yeah. I want to make one comment about what Harlan said. He said, I go to meetup groups several times a week. The women congregate together and don't let the men talk to them. This is what I'm talking about, getting off your ass and getting out there. What do you mean they don't let the men? Is there a barrier up? Is there a barricade in front of these women? Do they have shirts that say like, I hate men? No. Get in that circle, get off your ass and go break into conversations. And we can help you do that. We have several tools that we can provide you with that would allow you to break into conversation with these women. These women are out for a reason.
Literally last night on the call that I was covering for, there was a guy named Joe, great guy. He gave praise to Alex, one of our wing girls, because he goes, I was out there. I was so intimidated by approaching more than one girl at a time. He goes, 3 different occasions since my last call, I went out there and I approached women 2+, and he was so excited. His success rate is going up. He got phone numbers. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Like I will tell you something. Yes, we women do not make it easy for you to approach us. We may look unapproachable. We may look super scary, but we are wanting you to come up and engage with us. Right? We're not going to engage with you if you're going to stand there being really strange and weird and not really offering anything to the conversation. But if you come up and I talked about ruffling feathers before, and somebody was asking what that was talking about. Ruffling, but if you go up and you ruffle feathers, which means that you say things that aren't just meek and polite and like monotone, but you say things that can get a conversation started, inject some fun into the conversation. Ruffling feathers means that you're not afraid to put out there into the world engaging thoughts, ideas, and opinions, right? You're okay if somebody takes slight offense to what you say because you're really speaking your mind, right? And that's what women are wanting when they interact with men. They don't want men who are just sitting there saying like, yes, that's great, what a good idea, agreeing with everything that they say. They want a man who has opinions, who injects his own opinions into the conversations, who might say like, I really agree with you, or hey, we probably won't be friends because you think X, Y, and Z, and I think the other way. Men who can ruffle feathers with women are men that can build attraction and create attraction. And that's what we teach. I feel bad because we're giving like surface level responses, not surface level responses, but like big grandiose responses when they're to teach these things that Miranda and I are talking about having this kind of mindset and being in the capabilities to do these things. There is a skill set to learn. It has to be learned through building blocks, but you could go up to women that are all congregated together who seem to not want to be talking to anybody. And you can certainly break apart that conversation and suddenly become the person that's leading the conversation and injecting fun into that group. You could ruffle feathers, as I was talking about before, with all the women that you interact with, which will give them a hit of dopamine, right? Because they'll get excited about hearing a man engage them and actually having something to say. Like, again, I'm rambling on and on, but there are so many things that you can do. And I am seeing a lot of negativity in the chat of, I don't want to be out there in groups, or this isn't going to work for me, or I can't do these. Like, I'm seeing a lot of comments like that. And remember what I was talking about before about reframing the way that you talk? Like, this is what I'm talking about. You're already telling yourself that things aren't going to work, that things aren't going to work out for you, that like the world is to blame, things aren't going to work out for you because it doesn't make sense for you right now. You can't see it a different way. But if you can start seeing it differently, talking about it differently, you will propel yourself to have different responses.
I love that. Really quick, I've got a couple more questions before
Yeah.
we wrap up, but I want to detour this really quick and talk about this booking an appointment with a member of your team. Marni said something really interesting thing. She said, we're giving you the best answers we can, but we're trying to compress like our experience with tens of thousands of men into like
Yeah.
40 or 45 minutes. And so Marni said, I feel like I'm giving you like a surface answer. It's the best we can do here, but here's what you can do. I told you in a few minutes, I'm not going to post it yet, but in a few minutes, we're going to post a link where you can actually book a call with a member of Marni's trained team. Okay. You're not going to be meeting with a wing girl. You're going to be meeting with a member of her team that will go in and really do a deep dive into your dating life. They're going to figure out what's not working. They're going to show you exactly how you can start improving immediately, and they can give you some better information. Okay. We can take it from surface a little bit deeper in that private call that you'll have with a member of the team. So in a few minutes, we're going to allow you to do that. It's free, no obligation. You can book a call with a member of the team, and it's going to take the surface answers you're getting here. It's going to take them a little bit deeper while we do a deep dive in your dating life. And then where do you think you're going to get the deepest part of the answers? Where do you think you're going to see the real change and the real catharsis? It's when you actually meet with a wing girl. So there is, some progression there, but we want to be here. We want to meet you where you stand and help you out. And so in a few minutes, we're going to post a link where you can book a call directly with a member of her team and give you guys a chance to learn. Okay, just wanted to set that aside really quick.
Yeah.
We're not going to post the link yet, but Miranda, I want to direct this one at you if that's all right.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about working with Marni, working with the wing girls. Here's what we do. Here's how we do it, all that kind of stuff. Give me an example. You've got to have a few, favorites or ones that stand out, maybe some that are more recent. Tell me just quickly a quick story about somebody that you worked with, maybe where they started, maybe a really interesting transition of where they started. They had the typical fears, the anxieties they talked about, the nervousness, didn't really know how to connect or communicate. And then they went through some communication with the wing girls and how that turned out. Can you give us an example of somebody without exposing their real name?
Yeah, totally. I mean,
Marv.
oh my God, we love Marv. All of us want to live Marv's life, right?
Oh my God.
And
He's having the most sex, the best sex he's ever had of his life. He's madly in love. He was widowed. I'm sorry, I'm jumping in to answer this question.
No.
Was widowed, never thought that he was going to love again. And like, even in the 8 weeks that he was working with us, he met this one woman. He cut off all other things all the other situations that he was having with other women because he decided that this was like a woman to invest in. And now, like every 2 weeks, this has been for the past 8 months, we get updates every 2 weeks saying, we're in Italy now, we're doing this, we're doing that. Here, we have the best sex ever. I gave her a great orgasm last night.
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't have a filter, but he's amazing.
But don't you remember though? I don't know if you remember this part. When he first begun with us, he was so fucking pessimistic.
Yes.
He was I got warned about him, like he's a little bit, pessimistic. He has, doesn't know if this is the right thing for him and blah, blah. And now, like Marni said, literally every 2 weeks, we just had all this amazing sex in Tuscany, blah, 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 all this stuff. And even so much, I was actually going to talk about another widower guy who was on our success stories today. Yeah. And JK had posted about him. Great guy, had been married to a woman for 35 years, unfortunately lost her. He was her caregiver for many years prior to losing her. And lo and behold, like in his own neighborhood, there was a woman who he had been friends with, who he had adopted her dog 15 years prior, all of a sudden, and with some encouragement and some finding and seeing. Marni says, put up a mirror, and it really is putting up a mirror to you guys, because sometimes we see things in you guys that you don't see in yourselves. We point out the things that you should be proud of and see in yourselves. And lo and behold, now he has a girlfriend. He's having a great time. They're going out with the grandkids. He's like now Uncle so-and-so, to the great. It's adorable. It's so, so, so adorable.
Yeah. And let's be honest, I've been doing this for 21 years. So I have thousands and thousands of examples of the same thing. And actually, the ones who are the most resistant are my favorite clients that I've worked with. The ones who believe in the beginning, like this is never gonna, you have to kind of fight them tooth and nail. You have to push them to do the work. And then once they start doing it, they're like, oh, this works. Okay. This is interesting. I should have been listening to you the whole time. I've had certain people say, like, write me back 3 months after buying one of my programs. This is before we ever did like a live coaching program. And they would say, I got your book. I read it. I labeled it as trash. I went back to it about a month ago and I read it again and then applied what you said. And I have to say, like, you're an absolute genius and this has completely changed my life. So there is something to being ready for receiving that information. But I do find that the ones who are like the most resistant at first are the ones who do have the fastest results as soon as they do open up. But then they do have the best results as well. So there's something to being skeptical. There's like a plus to being skeptical that seems to work for guys who work with us.
Okay, Marni, I'm gonna say something that so I work, by the way, for those of you who have never met me, I work in the client services department here, and I get a chance to interact with men before they, get a chance to participate with our wing girls. And I'm gonna say something, and I may just straight up piss some people off. So I'm gonna say it, and then Marni and Miranda, if I went overboard, could you come back and clean things up for me a little bit?
Yes, of course.
Okay. This one definitely isn't on my script. I saw in the chat box, I saw somebody put like dollar signs, and I saw money, like how much does it cost? Like this thing about money comes up all the time, and this one it gets me a little concerned every time. I've heard a quote a long time ago, and I'll probably ruin it, but it says, "How you do things is how you do everything." If that's the way you communicate, I have to assume that probably, and you guys can validate this, and it probably shows up in other conversations in your life too. But let me just put it this way. Does it cost money to work with an expert who's been doing this for 21 years, who has built an incredible team of women that can help you go from depression and feeling unattractive and feeling unwanted into the living your best life with women? Does it cost money to change one of the top two most important things in your life? It absolutely does, no doubt. If you're being skeptical in the chat box and talking about, well, how much does that cost? Yes, it costs money. Now, here's the good news. A lot of you have been participating with Marni for years and have never spent a dime. You got into her community, you saw her YouTube posts, you've gotten emails. Like, a lot of you have participated with no cost at all. Some of you bought her book. Some of you have spent as little as $37. Some of you have spent much more. But if you want to change, and I mean radically 100% change, one of the top two most important things in your entire life, and you have resistance to spending money on it, here's my question for you. You would spend money on a new car. You would spend money on new clothes. You'd spend money on a fitness routine. You would spend money on a personal trainer. You might spend money on, diet advice, or there's a ton of things out there that men spend money on in an attempt to be more attractive. I can't imagine the mental block it would take somebody to think, but I'm not going to spend money to improve what's up here and what comes out of my mouth and how I attract women. I can't put those two together. I can tell you that Marni has programs all over the place that fit nearly anybody's budget. So where you're at in your life right now in dating, where you're at with your personal self-worth, and where you're at financially, come with an open mind. Give us a chance. We've got programs that could fit nearly anybody's budget. Okay. So don't tell me about who ripped you off. Don't abuse the new girlfriend for the one that left you. Like, come with an open mind, come and learn what we have to offer. That's what this appointment is for. It's free. No strings. I'm not asking you for a credit card. Book the appointment, meet with a member of our team. Let us do a deep dive into your relationships, where you've been, what you're doing, what the issues are. and let us give you an honest assessment of whether we can help you. And then let us show you some of our programs.
Mhm.
We literally have programs that could fit
We
in
don't take everybody. We don't let everybody
No, it's not
help
for
everybody.
everybody.
No.
It's not for everybody. Miranda, did I just go overboard, or are you picking up on what I'm throwing down?
No, 100%. Look, you feed yourself, house yourself, and you have to love yourself. And this is part of the loving yourself thing. And Marnie's right. There are only 9 of us, right? We can't take everyone. I only, work a certain amount of hours a week, and like everyone else does. So we can only fit in so many guys, and it has to be the guys who are serious about improving themselves and who are serious about wanting to go on this journey with us. Because you guys, not only is it, really fucking fun, but we're really good at this. This is a skill set. I firmly believe everyone is good at like 3 things in life, right? So 1, I can ride horses really, really good. 2, I'm a pretty good mom. And 3, I'm good at this, right? I am a shitty cook. I cannot cook. I cannot bake. I can all of the above. But this, right? We're good at this. So you got to come and experience just a little bit of a taste and see what we have to offer.
I love that.
And I have to
Marnie,
say
look
one
like
more
you're
thing.
dying to say something.
Yeah, I have one more thing to say too. So I'm like a huge cheapo, and I have my whole life been very afraid to invest in myself. I'll invest in a whole bunch of other things, right? Stupid things, like exactly what you said, clothes, or I mean, food is not a stupid investment, but you know what I mean. But like, I've always been afraid to invest in myself because I kept thinking in my head it was, okay, well, I don't have a guarantee that it's going to work. But really, what I've discovered was that it was a fear that I would fail after investing so much work, so much money into something. And that was my sticking point for so long. And actually, Jess, one of our wing girls, has been a huge motivator for me to invest in myself. Like there was something that I wasn't worthy enough to invest in myself. There's like a weird psychological thing there. So I understand thinking that you don't have the money for it or being afraid to spend money and not get the results that you wanted. But I am going to share something, and Ryan's going to get mad at me because he said not to, but I'm going to share something with everybody. So this is our success stories Slack channel that we have where people post like every single day about new success stories that we have. And sorry if I'm showing people's pictures, but this is not going to be released for anything. But these are all my wing girls sending in messages saying, this person has this person has this person's engaged, this person's getting married, this person's so happy. Like it's unbelievable what we have going on here. And so the main thing, oh my God, this goes on forever. But the main thing that I can say with full confidence is that I don't just believe that we're really good at what we do. We now have thousands of people who also say the same thing because they have unbelievable results going through a short program that literally like changes their lives. We have married men who want to get their spark back with their wife. We have single men, we have widowed men, we have divorced men. Like we're really
What about the
good
guy that came up to you on the street and was like sobbing?
I
Right?
know.
One of the guys.
Yes, I know. And that happens a lot. And yeah, and the whole point is that like I don't, just get onto a call with our team and see if and how we can help you. And some people we're not going to be able to help, and some people we are. And myself, Miranda, Ryan, my whole team, there's, over 40 of us who work at the Wing Girl Method. We are 155% dedicated to getting you the results that you want. So if you don't get the results with the program that we have, we figure out a way to get you the results and the information that you need to be successful. And we are completely dedicated to doing that. And we want to do that for the holiday time because we know it's really tough, it's really lonely, and it's really sad. And I don't want you to have another holiday season without somebody on your arm making it less lonely for you.
Okay, I'm going to ask our staff to post the posts I've been asking for. We are going to be posting the link to book a call in the chat box right now. And as that link hits, I'm watching for it. I just put a staff member on the spot. So
yeah. Anthony, I want to help you get that special someone. So
there we go.
yeah, go to winggirlmethod.com/game-plan.
Okay, guys, what you're going to want to do is either immediately click on the link and book or copy and paste the link and save it, because when we close the room, that link actually goes away. If you want to write it down, if you want to copy and paste it, or just click on it now, you can actually book a call right now at that link. So while people are doing that, Marni, I want to leave the room open for a little bit. So I'm just going to ask one question, and both of you can answer it. You can take turns however you want, but
Yeah.
There's literally over 400 people on this call right now. If you had a chance to be sitting with them one-on-one and you could tell them something about why they should participate in the program, or what they should be doing right now in life, or just any advice you would give them, if you could sit with all 400 people one-on-one right now at this moment, what would you say to somebody as like kind of some final words?
Okay, the final words are, hold on one second, that they wanted a screenshot of this link. So those are my final words. So give me 1 second. Actually, Miranda, you can answer first because they wanted to see a screenshot of this link.
Miranda, you're one-on-one. You got one last thing to say. What are you going to say that's going to help, push, motivate, inspire, challenge, validate? What do you want to say?
Right. I think that fear of success is as strong as fear of failure, and I think that's what people have to keep in mind is it's okay to be successful, and it's okay for us to find those silver linings. All the time guys think that they fail on approaches and stuff, but they don't realize the balls it takes to get out there and, do these approaches and have these moments. And we get them to, again, like Marni said, reframe it and turn around and see that what they're doing is success, and it leads to even more success. And the small success, it is like building a bonfire, right? This is the tinder, this is the kindling, and you can't build a bonfire without that. So you start there, and then you lay your big fucking logs on the top, and they'll spark, and all of a sudden you have a beautiful bonfire of love.
I like that. Okay, my final words are, I'm going to do a shout out to Jess again. So she sent me over all of these stats about what male loneliness has impact on, like men who are not in relationships and men who are not married. I think a lot of them, but men who weren't in relationships, like didn't have a partner. They showed, I can't go to the page because I'm showing this link, but basically
I think they already grabbed that screenshot though. If you do want to go to that page.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah, I saw somebody in the chat box said they already got the screenshot.
Don't look at all my stuff. Okay. Like all of these stats, right? So if you're married, you live 2.2 years longer. You have a higher chance of heart disease if you are socially isolated or not in a strong relationship. Your cancer survival rate goes up if you are in a relationship. You have a higher chance of heart disease, stroke, dementia, risk equivalent. Your risk of Alzheimer's is reduced. Your men who marry after 25 and say marry get maximum precision. I don't know what that means, but more so that like just your health being affected, your income level goes up. I forget exactly what this says, but you end up having, I think, a 10% higher income. Your lifespan increases just by partnering up. It's not even saying partnering up and being happy. It's literally just saying partnering up and being in a partnership, relationship, marriage, however you want to label it, has so many positive impacts on your life. That and getting a dog. So decide, do you want a dog or do you want to have? But
partners are way more fun, by the way.
Partners are more fun, and
I'm not going to lick your face.
Well, we're going to not only teach you how to find partners, but then also how to be happy with your partners and make them happy. Something that I know for any of you who have ever been divorced or have been with narcissists in the past, I'm going to put an air quote because you'll understand more about what that means if you ever work with us. Meaning if you have a cold, angry woman, we're going to also teach you about how to never have that happen again. So we're with you all the way in every single scenario. Anyway, that's it. That's all I'm going to say. But in order for you to be happy and with somebody and kissing somebody for New Year's, the first step is getting onto this call with us and figuring out what is going on, what's missing. What are you doing that you're not seeing? The call is about holding a mirror up to your face, and whether or not you want to do anything past the mirror, that we can decide on the call. But at least we want to gift this to you to be able to receive the information that you need, the truth that you need to hear, in order to progress in any way that you want, with or without us.
Well, Marni, Miranda, this was a lot of fun for me. I think everybody got something out of it. Appreciate you guys taking the time. Thank you for pouring in. What we can do in 15 minutes, is not nearly what you guys can do in 6 to 12 weeks. But
Oh my God. And not with 400 people on the call.
right,
Any
you
one
know.
person, right? It's hard
Um,
giving this blanket information. Yeah.
yeah, so just thank you so much. I get a chance to work with a lot of these men that come through those calls, and I get to see where they start. And it does. It takes some bravery. It takes some courage. Every one of them are afraid. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It
It's
doesn't matter.
scary.
They still do it.
It's
You know,
scary.
and
Yeah.
uh, and I love seeing the men that step up and that want to make that a priority. And like you said, it's not for everyone, but for the ones that choose in, the results are incredible. So, guys, we are going to wrap up. We're at the end of our time. If we could get Jay just to post one more time that link, if you need the link to book a call, there we go. Marnie hit it. If you need a link to book a call to meet with a member of our team, again, this is going to be a chance for us to do a deep dive one-on-one with the member of our team. It's going to find out if what we do is a fit for you and what we can do to help you with your game plan and what you can do next. So I'd encourage you to do that. And we will see you guys in one of our calls. Appreciate you guys' time. Have a great evening. And happy
I'll leave
Veterans
this
Day.
up here for a bit.
Marnie, happy Veterans Day to anybody that applies to you.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for all that you have done, all that you do. So yes, thank you.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. I have to go wash garbage bins now.
All right. See you guys.
All right. Bye, guys. Thanks for coming on. I'm going to leave this up for a little bit. Thanks, Ryan.